Alrighty, g'day guys, and welcome back to another video here on the channel, which is, well, first of all, we'll be explaining where the hell I've been. Yeah, there has been no content on the channel for about just over a week now, week and a half or so. Yeah, I kind of had quite a big error with my Wi-Fi, which affected the way that I recorded my own battles, and it just basically meant that I couldn't actually get anything out. And that, plus a little bit of procrastinating, led to me not being able to record. I also had people staying at my house, which meant that the place was loud, and over school holidays meant that if I was going to record, I would have a lot of screaming young children in the background, which is never a fun thing. But yeah, now that that is all out the way, we are back. We're here with another video, and we are ready to roll. We're going to start out over the next week or so. I think I have 14 videos planned. So you'll be getting 2 videos a day for the next 7 days. Just as I try to catch up here, we do have some new stuff coming. You'll see some, like, obviously you can see the UPO we've got now. We've got the Little Cup Wi-Fi, which I've got to catch up a couple weeks on. We've got the NCP, which I will need to start recording some battles for and uploading. We've got, and then we've got a couple other things in the works. But yes, so unfortunately, with all those errors, that did mean that I lost my pace for this team. I do remember this battle. I remember most of my sets. Well, I remember a few of my sets. But I don't remember them all, what they're supposed to do. So there will be no team builder at the beginning of this battle, and then for a few battles to come. But I will do my best to remember what I brought and the reasoning why. But yeah, today we're facing off in week 2 of the UPO against Aaron 12. This is the second time we're playing him on the channel. We played him for Little Cup Wi-Fi a few weeks ago. Managed to pull out the dub there, and are hoping to do the same thing in this battle. You can see the 6 that he brought on the screen. He's got that High Dragon, he's got Mega Blaziken, Donphan, Electros, Cresselia, and the Tapu Fini. He did leave a couple of, I do remember him leaving a couple of things at home. He did have quite a speedy, well actually, he had quite a sort of mid-range spear team with that that Mega Blaziken. So Shifty and Magina was originally on the squad, and then I remembered, oh, Blaziken runs a Protect, it outspeeds, and it bops me with whatever move it wants to go for. But yeah, so I decided that I needed to go a bit more of a Trick Room route. Had the Donphan, he had the Donphan, and he had the Electros that could underspeed, that he brought, that he could underspeed Magina in Trick Room. So that was really going to need to be a late game thing for me. But yeah, so we got the Slowbro, we got the bringing a Lolowak this week. Again, we're bringing Gliscor. We have the Bulu Lucha combo, which still outsped Mega Blaziken. Lucha is crazy. Had a really nice matchup this week. We're bringing Banded Bulu. Show me his team and show me a switch to Banded Woodhammer. You think Mega Blaziken's a resist? That is not. You think High Dragon's a resist? That's still taking a chunk. So yeah, that was the game plan. Is get Banded Bulu in, click some buttons, get a Lolowak in, click some buttons, and then hopefully have Magina Slowbro as a bit of a late game. Well, Slowbro and Gliscor as some pivots, and then Magina, and then Slowbro to set Trick Room for a late game sweep with Lucha. So yeah, let's get right into it, waste no more time. And away we go. So right off the bat, you can see that yes, Aaron does decide to challenge me. And hopefully this video is actually a little crisper now that I've got this out the way. He does decide to lead the High Dragon, as I go and lead with my Bulu, hoping that I got anything else in lead matchup. I am scared of the Fire Blast, I'm scared of the Flash Cannon. It's going to do a lot, so I decided to just switch out. I go into Batman my Gliscor. Fun fact, this Gliscor was originally a Kyurem Black, and then my genning broke, and I couldn't gen, and so I didn't have the DNA splices, so I couldn't actually get a Kyurem Black in game. So I went, you know what? throw them together at a last minute last minute Gliscor, and it actually worked out alright because it was a nice pivot into this Hydreigon. As you can see, he does have the Finny to counter our terrain, as we go for a Toxic. I mean, really hoping anything other than the Finny came in, but it's not really the biggest downside because we do have a very nice switch into this Finny in our Bulu. We can reset the terrain, whatever it goes for, like Moonblast or Ice Beam, probably the worst things, but we can live that easily. As you can see, Aaron's going to click Moonblast here. We're going to take a decent chunk, about 25-30%, but we get that back, and we get a little bit back with Grassy Terrain, and this is a free Woodhammer. And he thinks that he can go into Blaziken here. Bop. Look at how fast that HP bar drops. That thing just goes down, and that is a huge threat for my team out of the way. And I think you need to get that to +2 to outspeed my Lucha, because I didn't really feel like running almost max speed Lucha. But yeah, now he brings in the Hydreigon, and this is going to be, once again, my cue to switch out. I go back into Batman, who is, as he just clicks U-turn, smart play, but again, there was really no downside in this because I'm going to get a lot of health back with that Toxic heal. As he goes into the Cresselia, and this Cresselia is going to prove to be a problem. Now right here, I could have clicked Toxic, but it goes for a sub and actually outspeeds our Gliscor. So it's got a little bit of speed. I go for the Toxic. Not the fact that I rushed this Gliscor meant that it was not the most intrinsic of spreads. So I probably should have crept Cresselia, and if I had done that, then this game would be a lot easier. But now I have to go into a Lolowag. I don't have Trick Room. This thing's behind a sub. This probably has Shadow Ball. So it's not going to be a fun time. But I go into a Lolowag, and the Grassy Terrain disappears, so I don't even get a little bit of recovery back. It goes for Psyshock, actually. So maybe didn't have the... Actually, yeah, probably didn't have the Shadow Ball because my Dark type is a Sneasel. Not the best. But yeah, I go for the Shadow Bone here, break the sub. As you can see, we can easily chew another one of those. And Shadow Bone is going to do a lot to whatever comes in, which will be this Hydreigon. And this thing can pivot in on quite a few of my mons, but as you'll see, that's a resisted Shadow Bone, and that's done about 40%. And it gets the defense drop. If we were under Trick Room here, then that would be a dead Hydreigon, because we'd be able to click it again. But no, once again, we decide to pivot into Batman here, as he goes for the U-turn. It was very close. I actually am starting to remember this battle a bit more now. I was very close to clicking a Shadow Bone there again, predicting the U-turn, and then just claiming my KO. Whoops, I haven't done this in a while, and you can tell that because there's still a Blaziken on the layout. It's still 5-6. We're still up. We still do have a very healthy Bulu in the back, which will be once again my switch into this Finny. As we saw from that damage output, I don't think it's going to have Ice Beam because like you've got Moonblast. I expect a Scald, you know, just to hit some things. It goes for Nature's Madness, and this does a little bit. It does about 45. We get some back with the Grassy Terrain, and now once again we actually get outsped here. Finny does outspeed Bulu. I think I crept no speed Finny, but he must have just a little bit of investment. And we go for Woodhammer. We claim that thing easily, but Bulu does go down. So that is Finny and Tapu Bulu going down. So out comes Moonduck, and I go into Beginner. I'm like, you know what? Let's pop this thing. Got a good old copper bottom here. I forgot to nickname this thing. Very sad. I go straight into my Lolowak here, not even setting up Trick Room, because I know that this thing is such a problem for my team. And we have two physical attackers. Like Carmine, this thing sets up Carmine. Special mons don't break it. We have two physical attackers on this team. We have a Lolowak, and we have Holucha. One of those is incredibly weak to a +1 Psyshock. The other one can kind of take it. And the one that can kind of take it is going to almost kill that thing, and that was so annoying that didn't kill, and you will come to see why later on. as he goes once again back out into his Hydreigon as I click Shadowbone. And this Mon here has been putting in the finest of work for us this season. This Marowak Alolan form with its Shadowbone and its Thick Club has just been cleaning for us. And now at just over half, he goes for the U-turn as this is the turn that I predicted. That does nothing to me. He switches out and now he decides which Mon he wants to give me damage on. As he goes into Gyroscope, which is his Donphan, as I go for another Shadowbone. It's just click Shadowbone here, and that does a nice chunk of damage. I don't want to stay in here because I'm fearing the Earthquake, and that will, of course, kill me. We go into Beyblade, and Beyblade is going to come in as he sets up rocks, which is very annoying for my Marowak. He probably thought I wouldn't make 2 ballsy plays in a row. As I am now going to Mega Evolve here. I don't quite remember what happens on this turn, so you'll get the joys of finding out with me. You get Beyblade, comes out, balances on his tail, as I go for a Trick Room, that's right. Because I didn't really want things to be pivoting around me. Click Ice Beam here. That's going to blow back this Hydreigon. And that thing is gone off the layout. So now we're up 5-3. That is correct. And I switch out into my Marowak. I think I forgot rocks were up here because that does a lot. As he goes for Coil, and I'm like, yeah, Trick Room's up, but this is a +1 Electros in front of me. And I think this is the turn I click Flare Blitz. Yeah, we're going to dance with that bone in front of us, charge at this eel, and that does so much damage. That's a +1 defense. He went for the Thunder Punch there, which I thought was a bit interesting, because if I was Lightning Rod, then I just claimed a KO. But I guess if I was Lightning Rod, then Flare Blitz Recoil takes me out. So Marowak is down. But in comes Magearna. Trick Room is still up, and this thing actually underspeeds me, which was one of the things I did mention, but he didn't really have a move that was going to be able to do a lot to me. I click Calm Mind here, because I know I can eat 2 of whatever this thing wants to go for. I'm now a +1 Magearna out here. If I can't remember if Trick Room ends this turn or next turn. Twisted Dimensions return to normal, so that's why I click Calm Mind, because now I can click Dazzling Gleam, and I can claim my Mon. And that is a dead Electros. We're now at +2 special attack. Magearna getting some kills here. Goes into the Donphan. I'm unsure at this point if this is a speedy Donphan, so I really don't want to stay in. I go into Beyblade. Annoyingly, if this wasn't a fast Donphan, then I could have just won the game there, but the way he brought it in leads me to believe that he was, or he was like an AV that could maybe live a +2 hit. You'll see that Earthquake does -2. Goes for it again. Outspeeds my Mega Slowbro. As I think I click Trick Room here again. No, I just click Surf. I just decide that I want this thing rid of. So, as we can see, that Donphan is now gone. And is now Cresselia against the world. And this little encounter would have been so good if I had clicked Trick Room. But he now has the Moonlight, and this is a problem. This is a big problem. Because my physical attackers that are left is Hawlucha and Hawlucha. Now, Hawlucha does have the Brutal Swing, but that doesn't do enough whatsoever. So my play here is I know that the only way I break this thing is if somehow I crit with Hawlucha on a Brutal Swing, or if I can manage to get Gliscor in under Trick Room while he does not have a sub up. Because that way I can click Toxic and I can outlast him, because Psyshocks are doing nothing to my Mega Slowbro. I can slack off stall him until he goes down to Toxic. I also have Magearna, which is taking not very much. So I go for Swords Dance here. And he's probably thinking, Acro isn't going to do too much. He goes for Psyshock. I live on barely live. I think that was guaranteed live. And I go for Throat Chop as he is Colberberry. And so, as you're going to see, this does next to nothing. In hindsight, the best play would have been 2 Throat Chops, because that would have meant that I could at least get some like Colberry damage off. But he for some reason goes for the Moonlight, and I'm not too sure on that play. I get another big Throat Chop off that does a decent chunk of damage, and we're back to where we were. So, yeah. This is not going to be an easy game for me. I think I decided to go into Magina here. I didn't really realise my win con straight away. I let him go for Moonlight. We will be watching this together, because I don't quite remember how these last few turns unveiled. As I go for the Trick Room. That's right, this is when I realised my win con was Trick Room Gliscor. Whoops, there is still a Hulutra on the layout. So it's now 3-1. And you'd think in a 4-1 situation, with a mon that's just come in on like 13 HP or something tiny like that, that it would be an easy kill. But it is not, and this stupid Moonduck won't die. But this is the situation that we've been wanting. He clicked Psyshock. He clicked Calm Mind on my Magina as I went hard into Gliscor. I land this Toxic, and that is going to spell the end for this Cresselia, because my fat that is left is just too fat. He helps us out a little bit there by going for a sub. A little bit too late, as now that's just taking out his own HP. I clicked Defog here just because I think I was Defog, Roost, Toxic, Earthquake, so I didn't have another move to hit this thing with. But Defog just gets rid of the rocks for Magina mainly, that doesn't have any recovery because they're not doing much to Slowbro, and he can slack it off anyway. I just click Roost here. I'm like, you know what, Batman can just stay in, eat some hits. Like, Psyshock's doing nothing. He's going to have to try and Calm Mind up, but there is no way. Even at +6, I think Slowbro only took like 30% from this mon. So yeah, that, spoilers, but it will be the end of the game. I'm just going to talk through the last bit as it plays out on your screen here. It was a good game to Aaron. He really had me in a sticky spot there with Cresselia. I think had he taken out Slowbro as well, then this would have been a very different game. Very different end game, because I sacked the mon that I needed to break this, and that was either my Bulu, because Banded Bulu just said no thanks to this in grassy terrain. It did a chunk, or my Marowak Alola. And I sacked both of those. Not getting a Defog off before I went into Alola Marowak last time was probably a mistake. But yeah, so as this wraps up here, I say thank you very much for watching. I will have Aaron's link in the description down below. I'm not sure if he's uploading the UPO. If he has, then he's probably gone up a lot earlier than mine, considering we played this game quite a long time ago. But as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, we will have 2 videos coming your way every day for the next week to catch up on the uploads that I am a little bit behind on, plus some new stuff coming. It's very exciting. So yeah, that actually timed really nicely. Cresselia did go down in the end, and we finished with a 3-0 victory against Aaron. In our next UPO video, we'll be playing one of my good buddies. That'll be coming to you in a couple of days' time. But for now, tune in later today if you want to catch our APA Little Cup Wi-Fi Week 8 and 9 games. They are going to be grouped together in one video for a reason I'll explain in that one. But for now, guys, I will catch you all later.